Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
When the Indians and Astros get together, the smiles soon fade when the action heats up. The long ball proved to be the deciding factor last night as Trevor Bauer earned his 7th straight win against Houston. The big fly could be big again today with Mike Fiers on the mound for the Astros. We'll catch you up on everything next on Sports Time Ohio. Today's game between the Indians and the Houston Astros presented by Hankook Tires. From the Juice Box, Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, Texas, it's Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians won the series opener against Houston last night. The Astros have been rolling. They're running away already, it seems like, with the American League Western Division. And the Indians, Rick, ever since Terry Francona shook up the lineup and inserted Jason Kipnis into the leadoff spot, it's helped the lineup, but it's really gotten Jason Kipnis going.
Yeah, he has taken to the leadoff role, and I don't think it should surprise anybody because he has led off before. He's put up some very good numbers. You can see he's hitting over 400 in the 5 games that he's played up there. But you know what? He's been taking for him a couple of home runs. He's been hitting the home run ball. It's an energy spot, and he is an energy guy, and it's nice to see him back, and he's finally got his legs underneath him. And when you look at these two teams when they're matched up head-to-head, the Indians lead at 3-1, but very similar. They're both good. The Indians bullpen has been outstanding. That's really the only difference between these two teams because every game is between 1 and 2 runs against each other.
In their last 35 games, the Astros have only lost back-to-back games once, and that came in Cleveland against the Indians. We'll be back with today's first pitch, plus we'll check in with Andre Knott. He's got today's showstopper coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution. Warm and muggy Saturday afternoon in Houston, Texas. The Indians and the Astros. It's game 2 of this series. Cleveland winning last night, and they've won 3 out of 4 on the year from Houston. Pitching matchup this afternoon will be that man, Mike Clevenger, going for the Indians, and Mike Fiers, a right-hander, going for the Houston Astros. Let's head downstairs right now to Andre Knott for a look at today's showstopper.
Well, tonight's showstoppers, let's head out to the West Coast, where a lot of people have been missing this on the late night games out in Oakland, but they've been having some exciting finishes out in Oakland. Here we go. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Ryan Healy comes up with the deep fly to center field. Will this win the game? Jackie Bradley Jr. says, nah, not yet. Leaps to Robin with a walk-off home run, so we move to the bottom of the 10th. Healy cannot believe that happens. In the bottom of the 10th, Mark Hanna, walk-off homer on Keith Hembree. That makes a 3-2 win in 10 innings. It's the 4th walk-off in the last 7 home games for the Oakland A's. As we know from last season, when you get hot late in the game, it can change how your season goes. That's done that for Oakland so far.
Well, they've been playing very well at home, Andre, 13-8. Their problems have been on the road where they're just 6-15, but you know, you get into that Coliseum, and we'll be out there after the All-Star break. They can come from behind and beat you. They got some kind of crowd when you're out there.
It is a tough place to play for the visitors, but you have to wonder if there's any hope for Oakland, because they're all chasing the Houston Astros in the American League's Western Division. Houston at 29-13 owns a 6.5 game lead over Texas heading into play today. Two-run homer ties the game here in the 4th. Back is ready. He's on a roll. It's out of here. And the Indians go in front for the first time tonight. Gone to Cincinnati City. And the Indians lead is now 4-2. Lindor cuts it off, throws in a hurry. Got him. What a one by Lindor. Brady can't get there. Ramirez does with the over-the-shoulder catch.
Wow. Go get him, Jose.
And the Indians win the opener 5-3. Jason Kipnis says the Indians haven't played their best baseball yet, and there's still a lot of baseball to play. So anybody that's making too much over the whole 40 game mark, just pump the brakes. Still a long way to go as the Indians come in today 21-19 on the year, game back of front-running Minnesota in the AL Central. Let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup today as they face Mike Fiers. The left-handed hitters all in there. Jason Kipnis leading it off, followed by Francisco Lindor. They have each hit in 5 straight games. Michael Brantley will hit third. Then it's Carlos Santana, Edwin Encarnacion, and Jose Ramirez in the middle. You'll note Santana DHing today, which means Encarnacion is at first base. Then Lonnie Chisenhall, Yan Gomes, and Bradley Zimmer batting ninth.
And Mike Fiers is our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, the 31-year-old in his 3rd season with Houston after joining the club from Milwaukee. His 8th start this year and only his 2nd at home. The key to Fiers, he has given up 16 home runs, which leads the league, and 13 of those 16 have been solo shots. He did start against the Indians earlier this year on the 27th of April. It was a no decision. He only went 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, and a couple of runs given up, but in his career, 2-0 against the Tribe. He's a high fastball pitcher with a changeup and a curveball, but nothing overpowering. Let's set the defense behind him tonight, brought to you by WB Mason. And it looks like this. It'll be Aoki in left. Springer is in center. Reddick over in right. Bregman is at third, Correa at short, Altuve is at second, Gurriel is at first. Gaddis doing the catching today.
The crew chief, Joe West, he's at second base today. Lance Barrett will have the plate. Stu Sherwater at first and Jim Reynolds over at third. We're ready to go as Jason Kipnis steps in. Mike Fiers' first pitch today is in on the hands. Kipnis fouling it back. Strike one. Kipnis 2 for 5 last night with a home run. And he's hit in every game he's played since moving into the leadoff spot in the order. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pops this one up, shallow left. Out goes Bregman, and in comes Aoki. 1 down. Storylines today brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Mike Fiers has allowed 16 home runs, so that's something to watch for. The ball definitely flies at in this ballpark.
Yes, it does.
And for Mike Clevenger, he's got to keep it down in the strike zone for the very same reason.
Down in the strike zone and throw more strikes.
Lindor tries to beat the shift, and he will. He just tapped one the other way. It was a pitch that was up. It was away. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, and then he looked. I don't know if you noticed. He looked in their dugout as he was running to first base. He turned around and looked. I don't know if it was at A.J. Hinch or what. It says, if you want to do that, I'll take the base hit. Watch him. He just. It's not hit hard. But he turned around, and here you go. Take a peek here. You know. See that? Look into that dugout and said, I'll take it if you're going to give it to me. So he gets the base hit.
Michael Brantley squared the bunt and then pulled it back at the last moment. Lindor reached yesterday in the first inning when he was hit by a pitch, and then he was picked off.
Yeah, he made 2 outs on the bases last night in what was another tight ball game.
Upstairs 2-0. Michael Brantley has collected a hit in each of his last 4 games. 1 for 3 with a double last night. He also drew 2 walks. And that was a pitch just on the outside corner, not one that he was really looking for there.
Well, it was interesting last night on the 2 walks that he had. Both times they were just on the outside edge, where in each at bat, it was called the strike earlier in the at bat, but he walked both times on the 3-2 pitch.
Edwin Encarnacion looks on as Brantley awaits the 2-1 pitch. And a foul right back to even the count. You know, sometimes home run numbers for a pitcher can be a little misleading. You have 1 bad game, you give up a bunch in 1 outing, but for Fiers, he's given up a home run in every start this year, and he's given up multiple home runs in 6 straight starts.
Yeah, and the Indians hit 2 off from back in Cleveland. That's how they scored. But like I said, out of the 16 he's given up, 13 have been solo shots. So here's a guy, he's throwing about 88, about the same speed. Josh Tomlin, you know, they're 88 to 90, let's say. But they're control guys. They're aggressive. They try and get ahead in the count. And guys are going to hit you out if you know when you're around the strike zone and you don't walk many guys. He's only walked 15 out of his 36 innings. Beautiful.
Base hit. Brantley waited back on it nicely and just shot it the other way to beat the shift.
What a great approach. There's two guys coming up in the first inning showing, okay, you want to shift, we're going to take it the other way. Now you see what good hitters can do if they want to. They can go that way and take the hits.
That's why I said to you last night, it was surprising to me to see Houston shift on a guy like Brantley, who does use the whole field as well as he does. And yet they still felt like their analytics showed, hey, we need to put a three-man shift on the right side for this guy.
Well, go right ahead. I love to see what they're doing right here to start this ball game out. And we'll see if it changes anything the second time around. Now, here's a guy that may not go that way. You can go ahead and shift all you want with Carlos. But he hit a ball the other way last night, too.
Carlos Santana with 11 hits on the year with runners in scoring position. That's the most on the club. Pops this one straight up though on the infield. And staggering but making the catch in fair territory was Alex Bregman. 2 down. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Most home runs allowed in the majors. Fires, Jared Weaver, Ricky Nolasco. The interesting thing about Fires is that the most hits he's allowed in a game this year is 7. That's happened twice. He's given up 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits. So he will give up those home runs and a lot of solo shots. But nobody's really knocked him out of a game by hitting him to death.
Solo shots won't take you out of the ball game, you know, and that's just the way it goes. He came over to the Astros from Milwaukee. It was 3 years ago.
Edwin Encarnacion 1 for 4 with his 7th home run of the year last night. There's a liner to left. Aoki with a backhanded running catch. And the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. The Astros coming to bat. Face today for A.J. Hinch and the Houston Astros, brought to you by Hankook Tires. George Springer leading it off. Josh Reddick bats second. Jose Altuve is hitting third. Carlos Correa leads the American League in runs batted in. At least he's tied for the most this month with 16. Carlos Beltran batting 5th. Then it's Evan Gattis doing the catching. Ewing Gurriel, Alex Bregman, and Nori Aoki.
Mike Clevenger, the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher this afternoon here in Houston. And Clevenger making his 3rd start, his 4th appearance. Last time out, he came out for a 1/3 of an inning against Tampa because it was his day to work and they weren't sure what the rotation was going to do. But he lost his last start against the Minnesota Twins. He went just 4 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs.
George Springer, dangerous leadoff man, swings and misses at the first pitch.
You see a swing like that in every at bat, don't you?
Last night, in every bat, he swung at least once, missed, and ended up in the other batter's box. But he's #1 in the majors in leadoff home runs this year with 5, and he's already 2nd in Astros history with 14, and he only needs 30 more to pass Craig Biggio.
Well, that makes it. Well, it's swing every first at bat. It seems like he's trying to hit one to give him a lead, to lead off the game. He got off to a great start this year with doing that.
Low and away.
Well, there you see that's quite a few for the first 2 months of the season, I would think.
Now the 2-2. And a foul back. Clevenger with the 2-2 again. Swung out and missed. He struck him out. 1 down.
Came right back to get him with a nice 4-seam fastball, down and away. I like the location early, down in the zone.
Here is Josh Reddick.
The key for Clevenger, his last start, he walked 5, also, which is a career high, and tied a career high with 5 strikeouts. But he was deep in the count with a lot of hitters.
Well, here in the early going, he's been able to locate down and away, which is obviously important. We saw in that start against Kansas City, he was consistently pounding the strike zone down at the knees. He can do that. He's got a chance.
Yeah, he's only given up 4 hits in his first 2 starts. Remember, he had 1 hit in his first start with Kansas City. He went 5 2/3. Minnesota got 3 hits off him.
Three and 1. But if you combine the walks with the hits, that's 13 base runners in 10 1/3. So the old adage, a walk's as good as a hit, that has certainly been the case against Mike Clevenger.
Yeah, well, the key is trust your stuff and let your defense go to work. Try to get outs on 3 pitches or less is a pretty good thought process if you're a starting pitcher, especially when you're throwing it where he is low.
The other way, slicing out of play. Stay 3 and 2. Now the 3-2 again. Line to Ramirez with a backhander. 2 down.
Let's check the Tribe defense for you, brought to you by Ram. It'll be Brantley in left, Zimmer in center, Chisenhall over in right, Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Encarnacion gets the start at first today with Gomes doing the catch.
Murph told me that Corey Dickerson just hit a leadoff homer for Tampa.
Be darn. Well,
He's closing
give him
in.
number 4.
Yeah.
That guy's having a heck of a year.
So is this guy, Jose Altuve, somewhat quietly, given that he's batting .310, but people are used to seeing him hit .350,
Yeah,
.330.
that
He has set the bar so high in the standard. But consider that he got off to a bit of a slow start first couple of weeks. In his last 33 games, though, he has 42 hits.
Yeah, he's about as consistent as you'll find.
Those who watch him play every day will tell you, if he doesn't get 2 hits in a game, you're thinking, oh, what's wrong with Altuve?
Yeah, it's a slump.
That's how.
Yeah, setting the bar is right because he puts the ball in play most of the time. He's one of the best at barreling it up.
And he can get to a variety of pitches. It's not like you can say, well, pound him in
Right.
soft away. We saw him on a first pitch up and away ball last night. Just pound it the other way for a single. 2-2. Got him reaching, but he fouls it off. Base is empty, 2 down, no score, just underway here in Houston. Indians had a couple of hits top half of the inning, but could not take advantage. And now a broken bat bouncer. Mike Clevenger retires the side in order. No score after 1 in Houston. Jose Ramirez will lead off for the Indians. Two for 4 with a triple and a huge run scored last night. Grounds 1 to Altuve. 1 pitch, 1 out. Injury report is brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. And the Astros had to put Dallas Keuchel on that disabled us with a pinched nerve. And he has been on fire.
Yeah, it seems like he may only miss 1 start. They limited him to 5 innings in his last start, and I think about 80 pitches. But he's been as good as they get this year.
Lonnie Chisenhall looks at ball 1 up and away. Chisenhall on a pretty good run offensively. Last 5 games, 5 hits, including 3 homers, a double, and 7 runs batted in. Bloop towards center. Coming hard to Springer. Can't get it. And Lonnie Chesnall has a 1-out single. Let's go down to Andre with some injury update news on the Indians.
Well, Austin Jackson played last night for the Columbus Clippers. He was 1 for 3 with a home run as he DH'd. He will play again tomorrow, then Tuesday. Then the team will reevaluate. Now, the guy that everybody truly wants to know about is Corey Kluber. Today, he pitched back at home in a simulated game. Some guys came up from Lake County. He was supposed to throw at minimum 35 pitches, probably more if he felt okay. If that all went well, and hopefully I'll know after the game or during the game, and I'll give you guys that information, then they will probably send him out for a rehab start on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
All right, thanks, Andre. Here's Yan Gomes. Broke his bat and popped it back. And that's out of play. Well, you don't see many guys break their bat on a pop-up backwards.
Right. No kidding. And it made the seats, mind you. Yeah, they look like they plan on getting onto Mike Fiers early or attack that first fastball, but right there he made a pretty good pitch and it really got inside to Gomes. Ramirez made it out on the first pitch.
A little low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yan Gomes sat out yesterday, but boy, tough to take his bat out of the lineup the way he's been swinging it here in the month of May. He's batted .375 this month with 5 doubles, a home run, and he's driven in 4.
Yeah, and his whole approach at the plate has changed a little bit, where the patience is shown. He's drawing more walks. He seems like he's putting up some quality at bats, even if he's making an out.
You know what you just said too, Rick. The difference maybe between Yan Gomes lately and Yan Gomes a year ago. Last year, he would have broke his bat, popped it up behind home plate, and the guy would have caught it.
Yeah.
And that's the way maybe just a little luck starts to go the other way for you. Hit it high and deep,
Can't even see
and I
it
lost
in
it.
here.
I have no idea where it's at.
No, this is awfully tough.
Did he catch it? Where'd it go? It's a fair ball, and it's off the wall, and it ricocheted all the way back to the shortstop Correa.
I didn't even see the ball.
So it's a single on a ball that hit off the scoreboard.
He didn't even run because I don't think he saw it.
All right, guys, it hit up very top on that catwalk. It was going foul. That's why it came back into the fair territory.
You mean the girder?
Yeah, I'm not going up there. It's pretty high.
Go ahead, please.
But it was going foul, and I think that's why they have to call it that way. But is this like Tampa Bay, where if it comes in fair territory, it's a fair ball?
I've never seen a ball hit a girder here before.
Hey,
so
Aoki doesn't even see
Aoki
it.
had no idea. It was, like I said, it was going foul because it was right underneath where I'm sitting.
All right, so it didn't hit the scoreboard. It hit a girder. Wow, that's
very strange.
Yeah.
That's the first I've ever seen in this ballpark.
So first and second with 1 out.
See how good he's going? Talking about luck.
Although if it didn't hit the girder, maybe it would have gotten out of here because Aoki was tracking it thinking it was going to be at least.
Andre said it would have been foul.
Oh, is that right?
I think he said it hit the girder and kicked back into fair territory. Is that right, Andre? Because it was underneath him.
Yes, because the girder is right down with the foul line.
Yeah,
I can't see that ball going another 40 feet,
And
staying straight.
fair,
It was hooking down the line.
Gotcha.
Well,
Well, the windows they have above the fence, and it's out in left center field high. That's tough to see because you can lose the ball out there from our vantage point.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 aboard. And that's up high. And the only reason the roof is closed today is because of the humidity. Watch Lonnie Chesnall.
All right,
He's
look at
looking.
Lonnie. He's looking for it. He's at second. He's waiting for it. He doesn't look at it. You see his hands? Where is it?
Yeah. Well, he was watching Aoki.
Right.
Which is kind of what I ended up doing. And then he didn't even know where it was at. So.
Things that can happen when you play indoors.
Now here's Yan Gomes' reaction.
Ah, that's foul. Look at him. He knew it was foul. He's still looking for it. And then how about that? He had to run from almost the on-deck circle.
He's looking around like
that. That says it all right there. He hit the ball, so he should know.
2-2 count. Up and away, and Gaddis did a nice job to come up and stab it. Just to the right of the third baseman, Alex Bregman. Oh my goodness, that's where it ended up landing.
Yeah, look at everybody's over towards foul territory, and Bregman didn't even know where it was, and there goes Correa to go get it.
Well, now can they take advantage of their good fortune? This is the payoff pitch, and it's strike 3 called. Zimmer can't believe it. And we might need another look at this one. Lance Barrett, the home plate umpire. Well,
not going to say, yeah, that's too close to take. You got to at least try to swing it or foul it off.
First strikeout for Fiers. And for him, it couldn't have come at a better time. If that's ball 4, then they're loaded with 1 out. Instead, he faces Kipnis with 2 down and still runners first and second. Goes to the backstop. Both men move up. That'll be ruled a wild pitch. It looked like it hit the dirt.
Wait, did it? I thought it hit his glove. I think he booted it. I didn't see it hit the dirt. I could be wrong. Man, he just
it hit the dirt, but he missed it.
Yeah, it went off his glove.
I don't think it even. I'm not sure he got leather on it. That is bizarre.
Well, pass ball, so base hit here will get 2.
Upstairs with it.
Really giving Kipnis the right field line. You've got Reddick off the line in the right center, and you see a boatload. They're really playing him like a left-handed pull hitter. So if he could hit it to straightaway center, he's got himself a double easily.
Upstairs with it, 3-0. And taking all the way, perhaps it's a strike, 3-1. Now the 3-1. And it's back out of play, full count. Sometimes you get the feeling the Astros are like that guy that goes to the casino and watches for a while and figures that the odds are due that this number is going to hit because some of the extreme natures that they employ with their shifts. I mean, there is an enormous gap in straightaway center field right now for Kipnis.
I know it.
And he hits one to right center field. It's a base hit. 1 run scores. Chisenhall comes home. Gomes to the plate. He is out at the dish. And the inning is over. Jason Kipnis picks up a hit and an RBI, and the Indians have the lead. But the Astros get out of the inning on a good throw, and Gaddis getting the tag on Gomes.
MLB action with all your favorite MLB teams and players. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBI.com.
4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Astros here in inning number 2. Carlos Correa will lead it off. One for 3 last night with an opposite field home run.
Well, this Houston team, they've had a very good month of May when it comes to offense. They're averaging 6 runs a game, and this is the culprit right here. That's the #1 guy. He's had a tremendous month, hitting .383, 6 doubles, 11 walks, 4 homers, and 16 RBI.
Mookie Betts, Justin Smoke, the others who have driven in 16 runs in the month of May in the American League. And we still have 10 days, 11 days to go.
Yes, we do.
Off the end of the bat, left center field might hang up, and it will as Bradley Zimmer runs it down. Well, he covers a lot of ground out there with those big strides at 6'5".
Yeah, and the ball seems to hang up here a little bit more so than other places. I don't know if it's because we're indoors or not. This ballpark seems like, I mean, you get down on the field and it looks like it's a pretty big ballpark, you know, when you're down there on the field. But boy, these guys make it play like it's small. You know, you got the short porch in left. Right field's you don't have to drive it.
Well, I mean, we saw last night the guy who just hit Correa. He drove a ball out of here opposite field to right, and it just flew out of here.
Yeah, it didn't look like he smoked that ball at all either.
When Encarnacion hit his home run last night, it went to left field. Now, granted, it's only 315 down the line to left, so it is a short porch. But that ball didn't even look like it reached its apex before it was gone. So this park definitely yields some. Take another look at Correa. This is opposite field. It didn't sound like
the ball.
Yeah, it didn't sound like he crushed it, and it just zoomed right out of here.
It looked like Lonnie had a chance at it, but the fans were out there after it.
He didn't hit it in the box of popcorn, though.
No, that's true. That saved Andre some money.
Missed inside. And it's a full count. Who was that? Do you remember who it was that hit it in the popcorn?
No, not right off the top
Can't
of my
remember
head.
either. We're going to find out, though. We're going to reveal it here in a moment. Ground ball foul. Carlos Beltran. 545 career doubles. He's too shy of moving into a tie for 30th place all-time with Manny Ramirez. And another foul ball.
Staying alive, following them off.
Tenth pitch of the at bat. Swung out and missed. He took a little something off that time.
Change up.
And that is strikeout number 2. All right, here's the reveal. Remember this? If you said Drew Stubbs, you're a winner.
Look at that, right in the box of popcorn. That was Rick Ankiel playing right field for them there. Look at it. He got there just wide of the mark. but Drew Stubbs. That's why I didn't remember.
Second strikeout of the day for Clevenger. 2 down in the inning. Evan Gattis is the batter. So that was Tito's first year, right? 2013.
Yes.
Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung out and missed. Boy, Clevenger is doing a nice job of varying his speeds.
Yes. Well, that's the key. He watched Bauer do it last night. Bauer, threw a lot of curveballs last night. And then, he elevated the fastball. So right now, Clevenger, you can see Gomes having him back off a couple of pitches, change-ups, and he went.
Gattis chased it. Inning over. Clevenger has struck out 3. He has retired the first 6 to start the game. It's 1-0 Cleveland after 2. Francisco Lindor will lead it off for the Indians. Lindor. He singled just to the left of shortstop Carlos Correa his first time up. Now Correa on the left side of the infield. Not quite as far over as he was first time up. He was more up the middle in that first at bat. Pulls it foul.
Well, the Indians have had their share of runners in the first 2 innings. 2 base runners. They left 2 stranded in the first. They had 3 hits in the second inning. Just a weird inning. They only left 1 stranded, but they did get 1 home.
Upstairs. Popped in the air, center field. In comes Springer. And that's out number 1.
Well, time to rally together and send the Indians to the 2017 All-Star Game, which will take place down in Miami. You fans can vote 5 times a day and up to 35 times total to help Frankie, Hosey, and all the other Indians get to the All-Star Game. Just visit Indians.com, vote, and cast your ballot.
Up and away, ball 1.
Still looks like he's searching for that curveball. Left a lot of them up and out of the strike zone.
Well, there's a perfect pitch. Thought it was the same pitch, but just about a ball width off the plate. And Michael has that reputation of being such a good hitter that he'll get that call.
Well, and you know what, it was too. And you can see Brantley, his hits by direction, pretty evenly spread.
And yet they still shift on him. It's knocked down by the first baseman, and Gurriel is able to recover in time for out number 2.
Actually, a nice play to knock it down. Fires got over there in time, and then the flip gets him. So he takes a base hit. He knocked it down and kept him in front of him. And the quick flip, and Fires was over there in plenty of time. So pretty good play overall. Hit him in the heel of the glove.
2 down, bases empty, and Carlos Santana steps in. Santana popped up on the infield his first time up. You know, this kind of goes back to what we were mentioning in that first inning with Fires. He's given up the 16 home runs, but not a lot of hits. And look at this.
All the hits.
Coming into today, as Santana hits it sharply to Gurriel to end the inning. He'd only given up 3 hits this year with a runner in scoring position. The Indians already have 1 today, so that's something. Saturday afternoon to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. 1-0 Indians, bottom of the 3rd. Houston sends the bottom third of their order against Mike Clevenger, who's worked 2 scoreless and has struck out 3. Yuli Gurriel. He was 0 for 4 last night. He has 8 doubles, 3 homers, and 14 runs batted in his last 31 games. Nice breaking ball. Already, Rick, Clevenger's throwing a lot more strikes than we saw his last time out. This will be pitch number 40. And it just missed. So
yeah.
25 out of 40.
Yeah, he's keeping it down. He's keeping it down. He is throwing strikes. Pitch from in front, especially to a team like the Astros.
Big bounce for Lindor. And they're one away. Let's go down to Andre.
You know, the last time we saw Mike Clevinger, the Indians did something a little different, something that we don't see every day. They brought him in the last inning versus the Tampa Bay Rays to get the last out in the 9th inning. That was Mickey Callaway's idea. He wanted to get him out there because he wants Clevinger to compete every time he gets a chance to throw all his pitches with conviction. He said he could have threw a bullpen and he would have been fine. But he wants him out there going against major league hitters. He was against Evan Longoria. He liked how he went after him, and he thinks that's going to help build him up to be a better pitcher as they go forward.
Well, experience. That's nothing can beat that.
First pitch breaking ball, and it's strike one to Alex Bregman.
Clevinger seems to be a competitor. You know, we'll see what happens because Kluber, as Andre mentioned, is off. Has an opportunity to go out and pitch in a game Tuesday or Wednesday, and that's whose spot he's in the rotation, so his days could be limited.
Swung out and missed. Another good off-speed pitch.
So it's always nice if you can open somebody's eyes when you get that opportunity.
And he struck him out. That's 4 punch outs for Clevinger. 8 up, 8 down. 2 gone in the inning.
Let's look at the sequence and check it out. We've got the breaking ball, fastball, and a breaking ball. And he puts him away with that slider. So nice job. Through the first 8 hitters, half of them have been strikeouts.
Now Nori Aoki.
Make it 7-9 first pitch strikes for Clevinger.
And a ground ball to Kipnis.
Great inning.
9 up, 9 down. 1-0 Indians after 3.
Game, you know, whoever we're playing. I just said they're a fun team to play because they're good. That's what I don't want to get that missed, because I don't want our guys to be more up for a series or more, because you run into problems that way. You know, we got to attack every game, every series, because that's the one that's right in front of you.
Terry Francona with the Hear Right sounds of the game, and I think that's it. You know, it sounds so simple, and yet it's not that easy, but you've got to be just as up for this game as you do the next one.
Yeah. You know what? Other people want to see this because Houston's been playing so well and everybody's already written them into the playoffs. So that's why they want to see this series and then make a big deal out of it. But he's right. They are all important. You win every series, you're going to be in the playoffs. You don't have to worry about anything.
Encarnacion rips it foul. Sends a couple of his teammates running for cover. 1-on-1 to count. Well, when you get two good teams together, it is fun to watch. Encarnacion fooled by the curveball, and it's 1-2.
Well, I think the players want to prove to each other, to one another, who's the better team in that series. They really do. And after the Indians won for 2 out of 3 in Cleveland, and the way that Houston was playing, they wanted to return the favor at least, if not win all 3 here.
Now the 2-2. And a line drive caught by Correa. One away.
Looked like it was in slow motion. That's the second time he's hit a ball today. I don't think he's hit it very well. Correa gets up there. I thought it was going to be over his head, but it just seemed to float out there. And it looked like he just stabbed it at the end of the glove. But he puts it away for out number 1.
You're right. That ball didn't.
It wasn't hit. It was like in slow motion.
And it didn't look like he hit it off the end of the bat, but he must have just missed the sweet spot.
Yeah, he did, because if he hits one like that, he's not going to be able to take 2 or 3 steps and get to it. It would be by him.
Jose Ramirez grounded out his only time up. Low and away. 2 balls and a strike. I think, you know, if you're a manager, not just Terry Francona, but if you're any manager, and you know you've got a series coming up against a team that's in first place, or maybe it's a team directly in front of you in the standings, it's easy to say, hey, this is a big series. We got to win 2 out of 3 here to try to make up some ground, close the gap, whatever the case may be. But if you put too much emphasis and you expend a lot of emotional energy, as soon as that series is over, you've got somebody else waiting. The baseball schedule is so relentless, and I think that's why you often hear managers, they don't want to ever put too much emphasis on any one game, any one series, until maybe when you get to the last week of the series, when it is win or it's over.
Yeah, win or go home, pretty much.
Matt, I don't disagree with anything you said, but I know the players, they were in love with being here last night. Even Lindor told me earlier in the week, this is one of the matchups they couldn't wait to get to. No, you're right. It is every day, and the games are every day. But these players, they know what the stands are. They know who they're playing against. And for Lindor, obviously, there's some connections because of some of the guys on the Astros. I know they can't get higher or lower for games, but this team was pumped up to play the Astros.
Well, good teams bring the best out in you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean when they leave this series here that they can they can think any differently going down to Cincinnati as we leave here.
Lonnie rockets one to deep center field. This baby is gone. That one went into the party deck past the Budweiser. Lonnie Chisenhall with home run number 6 on the year, and that gives him 4 home runs in his last 6 games.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. And it's a 17th home run allowed by Mike Fiers, and his 14th solo home run. But this is going to be our Yellowwood bringing the lumber, a low fastball down the middle, and he gave it a ride, a cab ride out of here.
Do you see the pitcher Fiers? He's like on a pogo stick. He was bouncing up and down, going, "Oh no, no, please don't get out of here."
He's seen enough of them. He knows it's gone.
That's fouled out of play.
So Lonnie has scored both the runs tonight.
Rick, this is only the 4th multi-hit game of the year for Lonnie Chisenhall, believe it or not. He's had plenty of multi-RBI games. This is his chance to be his 7th if he gets another one. But he's starting to bunch some hits together here of late. 7 hits in his last 6 games. And the Indians lead is 2-0. As Yan Gomes bats with 2 down and the base is empty. And on the 2-1 pitch, he sends another pop up.
He's trying to hit another rafter.
And Altuve makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. The Indians add to their lead. Lonnie Chisenhall drives one to dead central. 2-0 Cleveland. Lonnie Chisenhall's home run giving the Indians a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. George Springer struck out his only time up. Blowing away.
They've been getting ahead of most of every hitter, jumping up top on the hitters. First pitch strikes. There's a quality pitch right there. 4 strikeouts through the first time through the lineup.
Swung on and got a piece of that.
You see, you throw that low dart right there, the pitch before that last one, and it stays called for a strike. Then when you throw that curveball and it's maybe out of the hitter has to swing at it because they think it may stay on that same plane. Next thing you know, it's going to break, and basically the only thing they could do with it is beat it into the ground.
That's the first time Springer's gone down to a knee in the series.
He has some happy feet up there in that box. Yeah, he just lost. Watch his back foot probably slips out of the toe hold. See it? It came out and he went right down.
He didn't really turn on that back foot.
No,
it was
just
moving.
Slipped. Yeah, it just slipped out. It came out from under him.
And that time he wails away. 5th strikeout for Clevenger.
That was good execution in that at bat. You know, you just go right back at him, and the slower you throw it, the better it is. 81, and he wanted to keep that foot down in that toe hold. Well, he couldn't reach the pitch this time. So strikeout number 5 for Mike Clevenger.
Josh Reddick lined out to Jose Ramirez his first time up.
I love strike 1 that he's doing today. Seems to be in a very good rhythm.
Oh, that one got through Encarnacion. Chisholm all over to back it up quickly. And that holds Reddick to first base on the error by Encarnacion.
Yeah, just a routine play. And this is the first time that Edman has been out there in quite some time. And the ball goes, looked like it went right between his legs. Not sure if it did or it didn't. Let's see. Oh, yeah, right between the 5-hole. Man.
Took a little hop on him, didn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a ball right there. I don't even know if he touched it.
I mean, he was expecting that ball to be a little bit lower, and it came up, as you said, I don't think he even got skin on it. Well, low leather. Jose Altuve taking a called strike.
Well, let's see if he can pick up his defense here. That's the 22nd error by the Indians on the season. They were rated 5th coming into the contest today.
Way out in front of it, and it's 0-2. Let's go down to Andre.
Okay, this is the 3rd start of the year for Edwin at first base. He started back on April 15th, May 6th, and then today. Now, I talked to Tito before the game. He says earlier in the year he was dealing with a hamstring injury, didn't want to get him out there. Then when he was struggling at the plate, they wanted him to be able to go back and look at video and kind of concentrating on hitting. Now that he's hitting a little bit better, he does not want to make Edwin an everyday DH. So you should see him out there more as we go forward.
Well, Jose Altuve made to look bad on that pitch by Mike Clevenger, his 6th strikeout this afternoon. And there are 2 down in the inning.
Change the eye levels, breaking ball, high heat.
How often do you see Altuve strike out? And I don't think he saw a strike.
He did one time in his second at bat last night. You know, Bauer climbed the ladder and he did the same thing. A couple of breaking balls down to get ahead, high fastball to put him away. But you're right, you don't see him go up that ladder too often.
I mean, there were 3 pitches and he didn't swing at a single strike in that at bat. Down low. I think the other thing you have to remember too, where Encarnacion is concerned at first base, hey, you have to do everything you can to stay sharp. But until Andre pointed out, I think 2 weeks, that's a long time to go.
Without the 6th of May, so what's the
2
20th?
weeks.
Yeah, there you go.
Two 2-0 the count on Carlos Correa.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing. He should be in the dugout right now. Let's see if he can get this final out, which would be the 4th one.
And it's low, 3 balls, no strikes. First time he's been out of the stretch all game long, but it didn't bother him with Altuve. Struck him out on 3 pitches, and now after missing 3 straight, he finds the zone against Correa. First walk, and there are 2 on with 2 out. And it brings up the veteran Carlos Beltran.
Well, it'll be Sugardale Dollar Dog Night when we return home May 26th. The Indians will take on the Kansas City Royals. You can also go out to the district from 5 to 7, and you can get $2 domestic cans of brewskis. And you stay after the game for fireworks. You can visit Indians.com and get your tickets.
Well, the last time up, Carlos Beltran had a 10-pitch at bat against Clevenger before he finally struck out. And a first pitch breaking ball gets in there for strike one. Indians don't have, I guess, what you qualify as a pure shift on, but Jason Kipnis is way out there on the outfield grass at second base. Lindor stays on the left side of the infield. 1-1. You get a look at the defensive alignment. Beltran doesn't run as well as he once did.
Right, that's why you can play him out there.
In the air, left field, but Brantley's back there. Just shy of the warning track, inning over. Nice job by Mike Clevenger. He has struck out 6 in 4 shutout innings of work. To the 5th inning. And we want to pass along our best wishes to Tommy Lasorda, the former Dodgers skipper who has been hospitalized for the last week. The Dodgers just announcing that Lasorda has been in the hospital. The details have been kept private, but the Orange County Register has reported he's been in the ICU. Tommy Lasorda is 89 years old.
Well, good luck, Tommy.
Yeah.
Hope all is well.
Bradley Zimmer called out on strikes his first time up. Off-speed pitch, and he watches it go by to even the count 1-1. A little high. And it's 2-1. Jason Kipnis to follow. Francisco Lindor due up third. back out of play. Missed up high with a really slow off-speed pitch.
Yeah, the curveball that he's done a number of times today. And that pitch is working. That's like a second off-speed pitch for him, and it gives the hitter more to think about. But they haven't had to think about it today.
36 of 66 for strikes for Fiers today. And that's low and inside, ball 4. Don't miss the country party of the summer starring Luke Bryan with special guests Brett Eldridge and Lauren Elena. It's coming up at Progressive Field July 15th. Tickets are on sale at Indians.com/Luke Bryan. Or you can charge him at 877-538-6282. Jason Kipnis drove in a run in the second inning with a base hit to right field. On that same play, Yan Gomes was thrown out at the dish, and that ended the inning. But I was mentioning it earlier. Coming into today, hitters were 3 for 31 with runners in scoring position against Mike Fiers. So the Indians won for their first 4. You're doing pretty good. This one's popped up. Foul ground. Bregman. 1 away.
Well, believe it or not, he threw the first no-hitter in Minute Maid Park history in 2015. Mike Fiers did, and it was his 3rd start as an Astro. Came over from the Milwaukee Brewers. And he threw 134 pitches in the outing, striking out 10, walking 3. And how about taking advantage of your first career complete game? It was a no-hitter.
Well, you would have thought Roy Oswalt, Roger Clemens, Andy Pettit. There's a
Somebody
lot.
In
he
this
would
bill.
not have been on the top
exactly.
of the lists.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have known that he's thrown a no-hitter.
Francisco Lindor singled in the first, flied to center in the third.
They have had some great starters down here in this Houston franchise. You're right. Mike Scott.
J.R.
Richard, I know. That's one that always pops into everybody's mind.
Yeah.
The flamethrower.
Zimmer takes off. He got a great jump. Gaddis's throw is nowhere near in time.
Tell you what, that's a dimension that the Indians certainly could use as a base stealer. And he seems to get nice leads, and he had a nice jump. And watch, that's a big kid, and boy, he's off and running with those big long strides and steals that one easily for his first stolen base. That's a dimension of this game that has been missing for the Indians, running your stealing bases like they did last year when they were #1 in the league, but they had Rajai Davis last year.
Lindor shoots it just foul up the third base side.
Boy, another add-on run here would be beautiful, especially with the leadoff walk to the #9 hitter. Then you steal a base, you get a little single here. We'll break their heart a little bit.
Ties him up, strikes him out. Only the second for Fiers today, but once again you get a runner in scoring position, and it's almost like he elevates his game.
Yeah, he knows how to get the out when he has to, and he does. He makes a quality pitch right there on the inside part. It runs in off the dish. He gets Lindor to swing and miss for out #2, and he has a chance to escape now.
Michael Brantley will try to foil that plan. He's 1 for 2 today. Brantley came in batting over 300 against right-handers. This one's popped up foul, and it will be close, but out of play. Mike Clevenger pitching a gem so far. Looking for a little more run support here in the 5th. In the air, left field. Running back is Aoki and makes the catch. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Halfway through. 2-0 Cleveland. Has punched out a career high 6 batters, and he has walked 1. He's got the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up here in the home half of the 5th.
Struck out Gaddis his first time up. And remember, he slowed it down on him. It was the slower the better in that at bat. He starts him off with a slider, strike 1. (11 of 15 first pitch strikes for Clevenger. That you gotta love.
Evan Gaddis pops one up, and this looks like it's back and out of play. Gomes over to give it a look, but it will find its way into the seats. A ball and 2 strikes. Clevenger really took advantage of Gaddis and his aggressive nature first time up. He threw him a couple of breaking balls, second of which was out in front of home plate where it bounced.
Yeah.
And he went after it anyway.
See if he comes back with that pitch and see if he can get him again.
Struck him out with a breaking ball. He didn't have to bounce it. And that's number 7 for Clevenger.
Well, again, you're going to look at the sequence here. Slider, bounce one. There it is, slider away.
Yuli Gurriel grounded out first time up. And then it pitches inside 1-0.
You know, he's throwing whatever Gomes is calling, and they're doing a nice job of keeping these hitters off balance.
Came right back with that breaking ball, but missed, and it's 2-1. And a good fastball on the inside corner to even the count.
You see, it almost seems like, boom, he's waiting for the slider, and then he comes fastball. And, you know, I don't know if it's a guessing game, but there's been a 20-mile-an-hour variance between the pitches, and what a sequence that was.
Wow, he chased that ball down in the dirt. Strikeout number 8. And that just tells you, because this is a pretty good hitting lineup the Astros have, it tells you that he's got them off balance and everything looks the same coming out of his hand.
Yeah. I mean, and he's really just doing a nice job of moving it around, changing the speeds. Yeah, him and Gomes are on the same page today. It's a nice rhythm, and it's fun to watch. And you can tell by Clevenger out there the confidence he has by his body language. He believes he can throw anything he has for strikes today.
Third time in 5 innings he has struck out 2 in an inning. He's behind Bregman 2-0. Popped him straight up. Going to get him out of the inning quickly.
Nice innings.
1, 2, 3 go the Astros. A career high 8 strikeouts in 5 shutout innings for Mike Clevenger. Cleveland 2, Houston nothing. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Indians. Mike Fiers has allowed 6 hits. He has struck out 2. He has only walked 1. Carlos Santana takes a called strike. He is 0 for 2 today. Comes back with a slow hook.
Yeah, now there's one that he threw for a strike, and that's the one that's you can see it's an equalizer when he can throw it for a strike. And I don't blame the hitters for not swinging at it. He hasn't proven he can throw it consistently yet.
Up and in that time. Got his attention.
Attention plays. After that slow hook, you get it up and in, and you say, oh, okay.
Clean up in aisle 4.
Yeah, you regroup and hit one right back up the middle.
Down and in 2-2.
Funny, you follow that with a changeup.
Ran it up high, and just above that belt, gets his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. Great clip of the game from last night. Edwin Encarnacion. Don't blink, as it gets out of here in a hurry. That was a 2-run shot and a big change in the momentum of the game. It tied it up at 2, and the Indians would go on to win it. Missed inside for ball 1. Two and 0 the count. Encarnacion has homered twice over his previous 3 games. Taken all the way, it looked like. 2-1.
Yeah, Eddie got him back in Cleveland earlier this year for a home run. He was taking that all the way. There you go. He wanted to, but good job of holding up.
Fires thought he had a strike. He took a long look in.
Yeah, it's a good pitch, but you know, you watch him down and it's just a little bit up, I guess.
3-1. Popped him up. Eddie just fires the bat straight down on the ground in disgust. 2 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Indians struck first in the 2nd inning. 2-out RBI single by Jason Kipnis. It plated Lonnie Chisenhall. Yan Gomes was thrown out to end the inning on the same play. And then with 2 out in the 4th, Lonnie Chisenhall homering for the 4th time in his last 6 games. And that has been it. Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 2 and takes a strike.
Yeah, he's been able to hold the 4, 5, and 6 guys down. Santana, Encarnacion, and Ramirez. They are 0 for 8 coming into this at bat.
Breaking ball out in front of it. And to count 1-2.
You know, in all Fire starts against the Indians, he's never given up more than 2 runs.
.88 pitches thrown by Fire so far here today. 2 down in the 6th.
Could be Fire's last hitter if he doesn't get Ramirez.
And the pitch is slapped to left and is Aoki. The Indians go in order, and Fires has retired the last 6 in a row. Fairfield Village Golf Club, May 29th through June 4th. Get your badges at memorialbadges.com. 7th inning, or excuse me, bottom half of the 6th here in Houston. And the Astros will have Nori Aoki leading off, the number 9 hitter. Then we'll go to the top of the Astros batting order. Aoki grounded out his only time up. Line drive caught by Lindor, one away. He tried to slap it going the other way with it, but Lindor said no, sir.
Well, Mike Clevenger has been strike one most of the time today, and you check the locations. He's really hit some very good spots with his fastball. He's getting him to chase the breaking ball, and he's had a nice blend of keeping him off balance, changing the eye level, throwing the fastball up, and very good slider today. Most of the time, I think his best off-speed pitch is his changeup, but today it has been his slider, in my opinion.
Good pitch, just missed. Clevenger retired the first 10 in a row before the error by Edwin Encarnacion allowed Reddick to reach in the 4th. And then with 2 outs in that inning, he walked Carlos Correa, but got Beltran to fly out to end it. He's retired the last 5 straight, but now behind Springer 2-0 as he faces him for the 3rd time today.
Good pitch. That's been the go-to pitch when he's fallen behind hitters. Have good fastball, low, knees away.
Little jam job to second. Kipnis will have an easy play.
These hitters are frustrated.
You see him fire his bat in the ground?
Yeah, they sure did.
T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball Break. Trevor Bauer's beaten the Astros every time he's faced them. 7 starts, 7 wins, 2.89 ERA. He's completely staffled him here in Houston. And in at least the last 100+ years, he's the only Indians pitcher to do that. Josh Reddick, 0 for 2. And a fastball right at the knees, down low, in there for a strike. A little bit outside. Low and away, 3-1. Lifted foul and out of play. So a full count with 2 down in the 6th. Another foul back. Another good crowd here for this Saturday afternoon affair.
Yeah, what they have last night, 36, I believe it was.
I never got the word on that.
I'll tell you in a second.
They listed 36 for 46 here in the notes. Reddick draws a walk, second issued by Clevenger, and a 2-out base runner for Houston.
Well, you can see he's been pretty darn consistent. He's had a 10-pitch and 2 12-pitch innings. Well, that 12th is now in the 6th, but when you have a couple of those innings, you can. He's never had more than a 20-pitch inning, so he's been in command so far today.
Jose Altuve, and there's a fastball strike. Altuve grounded out to first base in the first, and then he struck out on 3 pitches in the 4th inning. Runner goes. Strike called, throw down, and Kipnis got the tag on him, but the safe call is issued by Joe West. Kipnis pointed immediately to the dugout. He feels like they may have had him.
You know, if he touched him on the shoulder, then he's out because he picked it nicely. But I'm thinking Joe West might be saying he didn't touch him. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's a breaking ball. It's a good pitch, and it's a nice pick. Well, I don't know if I'm that behind him if you're going to get that.
Well, Tito's going to ask him to challenge.
Okay, that's not a bad call here. You're in the 6th inning. You know, with the angles that we see, I don't know if they're going to overturn that.
So they send it to New York for review.
And they can look up on the scoreboard here, and from just the replays we saw,
it's going to come down to when exactly did he get the tag applied. Was it on the shoulder, or was it on the hip? A heck of a job to pick it by Kipnis.
It was. And you know, a lot of times when you pick it, your glove goes up by the time you can come back and apply the tag. But I'm going to have to say that that call is going to stand.
If he gets him on the shoulder, he's out. The question is did he get him right there on the shoulder?
I don't think so, because then that glove's still coming up, and he had to go down with it.
This will tell us right here.
Tagged him around the butt. See, right at the waist.
Yeah. I think by then the hand might be in there.
I'm going to say the call will stand. That's anytime that ball, an infielder picks it and he's going up with it, it's tough to get it right back down to tag him. It was a nice pick, but either way, you don't want Clevenger standing around waiting too long. He's been in a really good rhythm, and he's ahead of the hitter. 0-2.
Here we go. Decision made. Got him.
All right.
The call is overturned, and the inning is over.
John Gomes. Nice pick by Kip.
What a huge turn of events, because now you don't have a runner in scoring position with Altuve at the plate, and it's 2-0 Cleveland. Is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by the stylish 2017 Kia Optima. All right, let's take another look at how Jason Kipnis was able to get the tag on the runner Josh Reddick as he was trying to steal. Now these are the same frames of video from different angles. The tag is on,
Okay.
Where's the hand, though? Clearly not at the bag.
Okay.
But they can use both of those. They can sync up those two pieces of video so that they know they're the exact same time frame. And by being able to look at different angles, the guy in the replay command center can see all those pictures up at one time.
Okay.
And it makes it easier for him. We can't do that right here.
Right.
That's why you and I were having a tough time, because we saw the side view and like, well, where's the tag at?
Yeah.
Well, he can take both of those at the same time and look at them side by side and make the determination. Tony Sipp threw 2 2/3 perfect innings Tuesday night at Miami, striking out 3. But it is not a well-kept rumor that the Astros are seeking for left-handed relief help. They actually made a roster move today to add a left-hander to their bullpen from the minor leagues. AAA Fresno, Asher Tolliver is in the pen when they officially put Dallas Keuchel on the DL. And a hard hit ball. Altuve runs it down. 1 away. Yan Gomes 1 for 2 this afternoon. Arcia in the driver's seat so far here in the month of May. He is having quite an uprising, quite a turnaround.
No, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to have a good month and you build on it from there. And hopefully you can take off.
Remember, what was that, about 3 or 4 years ago, Jason Kipnis had a month of June?
May.
Was it May?
51 hits. Yes, I remember 51 hits. It was an unbelievable
so it was
month.
May.
Yeah. And then you turn the page, and then, you know, sometimes it gets a little tougher, but you can have 1 month that can really get it going for you.
Yeah, he went 51 for 119 that year in the month of May. That was a .429 average.
Well, it just seemed like he was getting 2 hits every day, and a lot of times it was 3 hits.
In Fairground, Reddick makes that catch, and there are 2 away. He had 22 extra base hits in that month of May. That was the most ever by an Indian second baseman in any single month.
Yeah.
But I remember we talked a lot about 50 hits. That's just a ridiculous amount of hits in 1 month.
It really is.
Bradley Zimmer trying to beat the shift, but Carlos Correa scoops it up and throws him out. The Indians go 1, 2, 3, and that's 9 in a row retired by Houston pitching.
Including savings and access to Tribe Rewards, and today's Tribe Rewards code is Perez. Visit Indians.com for the details.
Home half of the 7th inning. And Mike Clevenger goes to work against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Houston. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Carlos Beltran. Now Altuve was at the plate in the 6th when Josh Reddick was thrown out trying to steal on the challenge by Terry Francona. Altuve 0 for 2 today, has grounded out, struck out. And Mike Clevenger will start the inning with Brian Shaw warming up in the bullpen behind him. First ball swinging, first hit of the game for Houston. And Altuve turns and holds with a leadoff single.
Yeah, after Clevenger got ahead of him 0-2 in the last at-bat, I had a pretty good feeling he was going to get after that first pitch, and it's the first hit allowed by Mike. And it was right over the bag, but they catch a break when it hits the seats, and it kicks back into play, and it holds them to a single. There goes Ramirez. That shoots by him. And then ricochets out into the outfield where Brantley could come out and get it.
Carlos Correa 0 for 1, walked his last time up. And it's outside, ball 1.
Just to get back to that challenge that the Indians made, which was overturned. They are now 6 of 10 getting them overturned.
I think the league average is around 11 as far as how many challenges have been issued throughout Major League Baseball. Double play ball. Lindor to Kipnis on to first. Double play. Oh, did Clevenger need that? After the first hit allowed all day long, he comes right back in and gets a double play ball.
Well, I'll tell you, Houston has grounded into the most double plays in the league. That's double play number 51 that they have hit into. And you'll see it, a routine, nice 6-4-3, 2 for 1 ball for Clevenger. And boy, is he's been brilliant today.
Anyway, I was going to say, I think in all of Major League Baseball, each team has averaged about 11 challenges.
So what do they have?
The high is 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, they've had some close calls, I would say. 21.
Our buddy Kevin Cash of the Tampa Bay Rays. They lead the way.
Does that surprise you?
1-1 ball, fouled back. Pitch number 100 coming up. In addition to Brian Shaw, Andrew Miller, I think, is also getting loose.
Well, you're at that point in the game where you want to be if you're the Indians, leading after 6. And you're going to see where Clevenger has been by inning to get to his 100 pitch count. And it's been a good afternoon for him.
In the air. Brantley on the warning track, makes the catch to end the inning. 7 shutout innings from Mike Clevenger. And we'll go to the 8th with the Indians up 2-0. refers to retransmit it in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. The Astros mascot Orbit trying to stretch with Frankie before the game. They don't look too enthused by what's going on here.
Well, they should be. They were shut out for 7 so far. It's only a 2-0 game, though. Still very good ball game. But then again, should we expect anything less from these two teams?
It's the way they've all been.
It certainly has. 2 runs or less every game.
Kipnis leading off the 8th. Tony Sipp working a scoreless 7th. Missed outside. Ball 1. Right-hander up in the Houston bullpen. That's low 2-0. Kipnis with that RBI single in the 2nd extends his hitting streak to 6. And that means he's had a hit in every game since he has moved to the leadoff spot.
White appeared in last night's game for Houston.
That ball just fouled. The most games that Kipnis has played in terms of the batting order has been in the 2-hole, followed by the leadoff spot and then the number 3 position in the order. So he's batted 1, 2, or 3 more than any other spots in the lineup throughout his career.
Yeah, action. He's got to be in the top 3, like I said. He's an action guy.
Try to hold back, or I should say try to wait back, but he ends up lining it out to Altuve.
Well, the Ohio Cup returns to Progressive Field May 24th against the Reds. 10,000 fans will receive a replica AL champion trophy courtesy of KeyBank. You can also grab a district ticket, also a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket. Just go to Indians.com.
The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made by Houston manager A.J. Hinch. And it will be a right-hander coming on. It's James Hoyt when we come back. James Hoyt, who worked an inning and a third of scoreless relief last night, walking 1, striking out 1. He comes right back out here this afternoon. He'll face Francisco Lindor, who is 1 for 3. And Lindor, like Kipnis, has collected a hit in 6 in a row. Swings at the first pitch.
Wow.
Powering pop-up.
Look at, they're looking for it.
Reddick had it all the way. 2 down.
Boy, we have seen a couple balls go way up into the rafters today.
Don't you wonder when the guys that were designing this, they had to be in a room going, all right, now how high do we have to have these girders? What's the average, right? They had to have some kind of
Got to be a couple
study.
100 feet.
What's the average pop fly in a major league game? How high does it go?
I don't know, but we saw one hit today in foul territory, something we've never seen before.
It did hit the girder. Michael Brantley goes right back up the gut, and he has his second hit of the day. And a 2-out single keeps the inning alive. This was back in the second inning today. Yan Gomes hit one high in the air. Look at him. He's standing. He's thinking, okay, it's foul or whatever. And Aoki never saw it. He's back. He's near the wall, and that ball. There's where it landed.
Yeah.
Lonnie's looking. Where is it? Oh, it landed right there in the grass.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing. That was took after their nickname for the mascot, Orbit. It went into orbit and came back down. You know, usually they document things like that, how many times it's hit a roof or it's done something like that, but we haven't heard anything. You know how it is down in Tampa. Now that's weird with the catwalks and stuff down there when you're playing indoors. This, I never thought it would come into play, to be honest with you.
I wonder.
We'll find out by tomorrow. We'll ask. We'll do some research.
I mean, you think back, Jeff Bagwell, I mean, he could hit some moonshots back in his day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there are a lot of hitters that come into this ballpark, and, you know, whether it's Albert Pujols when he was with the Cardinals, whoever.
Santana taking a strike. Two down. Brantley at first. Leads the team in stolen bases. Draws a throw. Two runs on 7 hits for the Indians. The Astros held to a single hit by Mike Clevenger in 7 innings of work. Looks like Andrew Miller will be coming on to pitch the 8th.
I would certainly think so. What an afternoon for Mike Clevenger. He was in total command.
Now the 1-1. Close. But all the ball. 2 balls and a strike. I'll say this, Rick, and I know he won't take credit for it because it's not his style. Terry Francona did say he and Mickey Callaway would meet with all the starting pitchers and the bullpen guys before the series.
Yeah.
Just kind of reiterate what they needed them to do. And the first 2 games have been really well pitched. Santana trying to plug the gap deep left center. It will hit off the wall. Brantley flying around third. They're going to wave him home. Correa comes up, no throw. And a 2-out RBI double for Carlos Santana makes it 3-0. His 13th 2-bagger on the year. RBI number 22.
Boy, when Carlos goes that way and everyone's playing him the other way, it just looks so nice. And that was a breaking ball. That wasn't a fastball away. He hit the breaking ball, and I mean off the plate. That was really a good pitch that he stayed on. It hits the wall. It ricochets. That allows Brantley to go all the way around and score. And there you go. A nice double, RBI double for Santana. His 13th double on the year, and that gives him 1 more run to work with here.
Brantley getting fanned off by Jeff Desjardins in the dugout there. He ran a long way, but also, you know, it's a good read by Mike Sarbaugh because He's waving Brantley, and as soon as he saw it take that sort of odd kick in that corner, he knew he could just keep on coming.
You have a 2-run lead. You have 2 outs. You're off on the crack of the bat. You have to send it for the most part. You gotta send him there.
And if any team might have the right to be a little gun shy, it would be the Indians in the first 2 games of the series. They've had 2 guys cut down at the plate.
That's true, but the scoreboard dictates. You know, you have the lead.
You still play your odds, don't you?
Yes, you got to be aggressive. And with 2 outs, you're anticipating, and you know your runner's going to be off and running at the crack of the bat. No hesitation.
2-0 pitch in for a strike. Right at the third baseman, Bregman. Inning over. Back-to-back 2-out hits. A single and a double, and the Indians lead it 3-0. Up. Mike Fiers has given up 17 home runs on the year. The 17th of which was hit by Lonnie Chisenhall in the 4th inning. But the story of today is Mike Clevenger. He has been brilliant. 1 hit allowed, and that came in the 7th inning. Struck out 8 and has only walked 2. And he'll face Evan Gattis to start the 8th, even though he's already at 101 pitches on the day. Andrew Miller is ready in the bullpen.
Well, he's going to be facing guys he's controlled today, too. Gattis, he struck out twice. Gurriel hasn't had very good swings at him. So, you know, they're going to take a chance and let him go back out there with the bullpen ready to roll. That extra run makes a difference.
And he hasn't really had to exert a lot of extra energy.
Well, there's no stressful innings. And I'm thinking if it was 2-0, in comes Miller. You know, and he takes over. But when you add that 3rd run, we'll see what happens.
Gattis able to lay off this time. That's a pitch he chased earlier today. And he struck out both times up against Clevenger. Gattis was trying to draw contact. He kept that elbow out there trying to see if he could get it nicked.
He sure did. He left it out there. He wanted to, well, they need base runners, so he was trying to get on. Now you got to challenge him. That's what happens. You fall behind, you got to throw a guy a fastball. He knows he's getting it, and he leads off with a single. Only the 2nd hit, and here comes Terry Francona.
So timeout for pitching change. Andrew Miller will be coming on with 1 on, nobody out here in the 8th, and the Indians up 3-0.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what a great afternoon. He kept Houston hitters off balance all day long with a steady diet of good, well located fastballs, a slider that was terrific, a couple of changeups. Most of the time it's been a lot of changeups and fewer sliders. Today it was a good fastball, nice slider mix, and really had the hitters off balance. I think he and Gomes worked very well today. What are you going to do? 7 innings, 2 hits.
Career high 8 strikeouts.
Yeah, and a career high 8 strikeouts. He did walk 2, but well, that's just what the guys wanted here.
The new pitcher is a fellow you may have heard of.
What's his name?
Andrew Miller.
Oh, I have heard of him.
Yuli Gurriel tries to check. Did he go? He did,
Yes,
says
he
first
did.
base umpire Stu Sherwater.
Yeah. Fans don't like it, but that slider starts. We talked about it last night. Once you start, it's tough to hold up and commit, because that's bearing down and in.
That one goes to the backstop. So much movement that it got away from Gomes on a wild pitch.
Yeah, it got away from Miller is what it did. Almost hit Gurriel on the back foot, and that thing just rolled off his glove. You see, that barely. Almost hit him. Nothing Gomes could do there. They'll go out now with a man on second base and talk about the signs that they have to, the sequence they're going to use with a man on second.
Since the start of last year, Andrew Miller has struck out almost 50% of the batters he has faced with a runner in scoring position. That is #1 among all relief pitchers in Major League Baseball. Fastball at the knees, 2-2.
Yeah, and that's where you go. You're used to seeing that slider coming down and in. Now you just throw that four-seamer that stays right on that line. That's a tough pitch to hit, even if you do swing at it.
Swung out and missed. He comes back and strikes him out. 1 away.
And then here he goes. Comes back with that big frisbee slider out of the zone. He got him to chase it. Out #1.
Now Alex Bregman 0 for 2. Good matchup though here. He has been the Astros' best in the clutch. and one of the best in the American League. He's hitting .406 on the year with runners in scoring position. That's third best in the American League. And so his numbers against Miller's numbers, who's virtually impenetrable when he gets into these situations.
He got off to a slow start, but he's really shortened that swing since the last time we saw him.
Bullseye with a fastball. It's 0-2.
It's the guy that, you know, it seems like it's tough to get inside on him. He's got short arms and he's got that short swing inside, and he can take you the other way as well.
Try to get him to maybe chase after one. 1-2. Fouls that one off into the Tribe dugout. Stays 1-2. It really is the human chess match in these situations, because the hitter knows he's either going to throw the slider or he's going to throw the fastball. So you're constantly in that guessing game trying to figure out which one maybe it's going to be, and Miller's trying to keep him off balance.
Got the fastball in out.
And Ronnie Chisenhall's there for out number 2.
Going to get another pinch hitter now for Aoki.
Marwin Gonzalez will come off the bench.
You know,
bad for Aoki. Let's take a look at his numbers as a pinch hitter, 1 for 4.
Yeah, he came on last night and pinch hit for Josh Reddick. And we had mentioned at the time we thought Reddick hit against Miller in Cleveland and did a decent job. Aoki did too in Cleveland, but he's pinch hitting for both his left-handers, realizing how tough Miller can be on them. But as we said last night, he can be just as tough on the right-handers.
And he goes right at him with a fastball for strike 1. It's been a pretty good clutch performer. And a guy who fits perfectly into this team with that role.
A valuable guy to come off the bench, no question. And give him starts as well.
1 ball, 1 strike. With a runner at second base, 2 down, bottom of the 8th. And he swung over the top of a nasty slider.
Yeah, he did that last night as well. You see that slider, next thing you know, you got to get the bat started, and you can see he's upset, trying to flip the bat away. Don't worry. A lot of hitters do it.
And the 1-2 pitch. Got him looking. Painted the outside corner with a fastball. And the Astros are done here in the 8th. Miller retires all 3 that he faces, striking out a pair. Fifth inning for Cleveland as the Indians lead it 3-0. New pitcher for Houston. It's right-hander Luke Gregerson on for the 19th time this year. 1 win, 1 loss, ERA approaching 7. And his first pitch down and away to Ramirez, who is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Marwin Gonzalez stays in the game, taking over in left field. And it's 2-0. Ramirez, then Lonnie Chisenhall and Yan Gomes due up. Just did catch the outside corner. Cody Allen getting ready in the Cleveland bullpen. Hit well the other way, deep to left. Back is Gonzalez on the track at the wall, and he makes the catch as he slammed in to the out-of-town scoreboard for out number 1.
About that, you get out there for one hitter and it'll find you, and he made the catch. I thought it was going to be over his head, to be honest with you. But he gets back there, he takes a peek at where the wall is, turns around and makes a catch before he backs into it. Good play.
Well, karaoke action with the hips. You know, you always do that drill. You see him out there,
yeah,
doing that drill.
right.
It came in handy right there. So many times guys will turn their back to the ball thinking it's an easier move, but if you take your eye off it that late in the process, you might not
Can't
find it
do that
again.
in left field because that ball's slicing away from you. You've got to keep your eye on it at all times.
But you mentioned it before. That's why Gonzalez is such a valuable asset to this club, because he can play some different positions and he doesn't have to play necessarily every day to be sharp.
Yeah. Doesn't really have one great position defensively.
Meanwhile, Lonnie Chisenhall homered back in the 4th inning today, and that's the 3rd time this year now that he has homered in back-to-back games, twice this month.
Well, the one he hit today, it was a bomb, man. It was a center field.
2-2.
Coming back with 2 outs in the 4th inning to give them their 2nd run.
He got him. Gregerson strikes him out 2 away. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. I mentioned it's the 2nd time this month. It's actually the 2nd time in a week that he's hit home runs in back-to-back games. Last night in the series opener, today deep to center field, but he also did it May 14th and 15th. That was against Minnesota and then against Tampa Bay when the Indians scored 8 runs in back-to-back games. Yan Gomes 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Good pitch by Gregerson.
Gregerson's a guy that likes to get ahead of you with strike 1 and then nibble and get you to swing at his pitch. He'll never give in. He'll stay off the edges. And sometimes the slower the better for him.
Swung on and missed. Yan Gomes goes down on strikes. The Indians go 1-2-3. And we now go to the bottom of the 9th. Cody Allen will come on and try to save it for the Indians, looking for his 12th of the year. Bottom of the 9th inning. Cody Allen looking for his 12th save in his 12th opportunity this season. He'll have to do it the hard way. He's got the top of the order in the 9th. Springer, Reddick, Altuve. Then again, there's never been an easy save situation. If you ask any closer,
you're right. You know, you got to treat everyone like it's a one-run situation, and hopefully you can go 3 up, 3 down. But he's going to get the top of the lineup, so that means Altuve is going to hit. Cody came in, got his 11th save yesterday. Had a 1-2-3 inning. He was facing Beltran, McCann, and Gurriel in that ball game, so it's somebody different every day, it seems like.
This is the 4th time this year he has tried to save a game or pitched in back-to-back situations. The first time was back in Texas right out of the gate, April 3rd, April 4th.
Okay.
And on that second day, he gave up a run on 2 hits. The second time around, it was towards the end of April, and it was against these Astros. He pitched April 26th and then April 27th, and in the second of the back-to-backs, he gave up 3 hits but did not allow a run. And then May 6th and 7th, second time against the Royals, he pitched 1 scoreless inning with a walk. But he also hit it better. So that second time around,
yeah, the second day in a row.
not quite as sharp maybe, but that's to be expected.
Well, that's the one thing about being a reliever. I mean, you got to come out there, and how do you react the next day after you throw that 1 inning? You got to come back again.
Yeah, if you're on a good team, then the chances are you're going to be out there.
You're going to get your opportunities to come back to sometimes 3 days in a row.
Now the 2-2. Not a play. And all of this that I just talked about makes no matter or difference to Cody Allen, because if anything, he knows how to deal with these situations and how to keep himself sharp and ready, because he's done it virtually his entire career. Last year was a breeze, comparatively speaking, in terms of appearances. Just missed outside. Last year he pitched in 67 games. The year before that, 70, 76, and 77. But he went from 1-2 to 3-2 now on Springer.
Well, you don't want to walk them. You want them to hit their way on. That is one thing for sure.
Popped him up. Is it playable though?
No.
No, sir. See that guy? You see that guy that right where that foul ball went? Guy with the long hair, the mullet.
Oh yeah. The wrestler guy.
Yeah. See him right there. His back to us.
Missing. You gotta love him.
He's got that. I mean, that is a classic. That's an all-star Hall of Fame worthy mullet right there. But he had one of those championship wrestling belts. He was holding it up to the crowd in between innings.
I think you ought to grow one of those.
Good find, camera guys. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And a foul right back. Payoff pitch. Man, quite a battle. That's going to go out of play.
Yes, I mean, he continues. He's challenging him as Cody does. He knows he doesn't want to walk him. And this guy's going to be in swing mode. Leadoff man, always a big out when it comes to a save. That first guy, you have a 3-run lead.
10th pitch of the at-bat. And a line drive, base hit in the left.
Yeah, that's right. He had to hit his way on. He hit a line drive right at Michael Brantley. So, you know, he wasn't going to walk him, so he threw him 4 straight fastballs with 3-2 count. And then he got one he could handle, and he puts it in play. So base hit for Springer.
This crowd of just under 35,000 has been held in check all day long because of the terrific pitching done by Mike Clevenger and then Andrew Miller. But they're ready to erupt here in the 9th with their leadoff man aboard now, Josh Reddick, to the plate. Reddick is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. And a little low, ball 1. Hit hard to right. Lonnie makes the catch. Throw back to first. Double play. Where in the world was George Springer going?
Yeah, you got to ask him that because you cannot get doubled off. The ball was smoked, and Lonnie knew as soon as he caught the ball he was going to be able to turn the double play.
I don't think Springer picked it up, Rick, because he never even made a move to really get back. Watch Springer.
Where's he going?
He freezes, and then he just stayed out there.
Yeah, that's a bad mistake. He knew he was done.
I guess you're right.
He knew he was done. He wasn't going to get back. I mean, that is really a bad base running play. But a break for the Indians because they double it up. Now 2 outs. That's a break.
And Altuve steps in. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Cody Allen is steely resolve.
Well, you see, that's the thing. When you make them put it in play and you have the lead to do it, you can hit it at a guy.
Ramirez throws him out, and Cody Allen stays perfect on the year. 12 out of 12 in save situations as the Indians blank the Astros 3-0. They've taken the series, and they've now won 4 out of 5 on the year against Houston. The Tribe is 22-19, and the Astros are 29-14. Winning pitcher Mike Clevenger, he is now 2-1. And the loss goes to Mike Fiers, who pitched well. He went 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs, but he falls to 1-2 on the season. So the series finale comes your way tomorrow afternoon here in Houston, and it will be Danny Salazar for the Tribe. Joe Musgrove will go for Houston, and we'll have all the action for you beginning at 2 o'clock Eastern time right here on Sports Time Ohio. For Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for Indians Live. Mike Clevenger, he'll be coming up with Andre Knott along with